fourth jar in our Shii Cho system here of study is going to be covering the right side, and it's the Hai, the Cha, and the Mai, the middle line. So it's the Sun, Cha-Mai Jar that we're looking at here. So this one again is going to be a lot like the second jar. We're only adjusting two positions really to make it both a high and a middle line of attack and defense. So we're starting with, again, I'll show it with just holding it with one hand. I come up step one here, and again, this is going to be for a downward center line attack. There won't be any diagonals in this one. Just like number 4, we're looking at the vertical line, and we're looking at high horizontals and our high horizontal cuts and our middle horizontal cuts in this one. So, first movement that we have is we're coming up here in the sun, and you want to bring your hand over to your left side in this case because it's protecting the middle, right? They're cutting right down the center. In fact, you'll usually twist a little bit to help that hand get there, because otherwise that starts to pinch in the shoulder. You can only be so flexible, and you can only be so strong when you're in this odd position. So really what you'll do is you'll turn some as you lift that right hand coming up, protecting your center line. Again, keeping it as horizontal as you can. They make contact elbow a little bit, but we don't want it collapsing on us. Step 2, just like in our second one, I'm going to bring the tip around behind, so my right hand is at my left side, and I'm doing this outward Cha-Cho, this high horizontal cut across the throat. So we have high, block, and then to our right side, and then an attack to their right side, right? So it's a Sun, Cha-Cho, as I come out. Then step 3, from here, I'm going to come up with the other side. Step 3, I'm going to flip it, point down, and the attack's going to be to the middle line. I'm going to bring it across the body, and again, twist with it to protect the left side. So now it's pointing down here, or nadir, when it points down. Zenith, point up. So all the times we've done step 5 this way or this way is zenith. Nadir now is when it points down. In 4 we had a nadir when it flipped this way. Now we're flipping it and we're coming across with it, right? So as it points down, we stop that middle level attack here, and that's step 3. So far we have 1, come around and cut 2, high and horizontal, tip it, and then turn 3. So my thumb is point down and come across. That's 3. Raise it high, and 4 is a center line cut. Right, there it is. There's your 4 attack. Right, 5, we're going to wall again, zenith to this side, and then 6, we're going to come in horizontally, but this time low across the waist here. So it's that Mai, and it's the moon, and Cho horizontal. Mai, Cho, there, horizontal cut. All right, so that's the 6 counts, and then again we're back to 1. 1 is here, come around, 2, tip it down, 3, 4, straight down, 5, again is the wall, but to this side, and then 6 cuts across the middle, and then you're right back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, that's very static, right? Just learning where the sword goes, how your right arm controls it, because then when you add the left arm on the other side, now we'll have to add some footwork. But in the end, the footwork should be organic, depending on the situation. So if you put these into like a demonstration, you ought to just be able to say, you do this jar, you two do this jar, you two do this jar, and they just back and forth as long as they need to, and change their environment, one standing up higher than the other, falling down and being on your back, and just knowing where your hand position goes. It's not going to change their attacks, so you still do the defenses the same way, right? It becomes a very organic show that way, and honestly, it's a lot easier to, that's the thing with your particular group, is to do the demonstrations, then this is a way to make everyone look really good really quick. But this also comes from real combat. So if they ever had to, honestly, they could pick up a real broomstick or whatever and go to town if they needed to. They'll know how to defend and protect themselves. So, 2 hands now. 2 hands, and we're looking at this Sun, Cha-Mai Jar. I'm going to start with my first sunblock coming up, and again, to the left side, so I protect that center line. And then I'm cutting, and as I do, I'll have to step this time to cut through with that left side. Right? Now the left side's forward. And then from here, our step 3 is I'm going to have to step back right away in order to defend this side as it comes in. So just the first 3 steps. We have 1, 2, I flip it down just like I did, but then I have to step back to protect that left side, because that's where the attack's going to be. Then I'll raise it up right there and cut down for step 4. Step 5, I'll step forward to defend this side, right? Because it's easier than trying to twist. So left side forward so that I can bring the sword to my right. And then for our last move, I will step forward or back as you need to. I'm going to stay in one place by stepping back with that 6. So there's a lot more steps going on in this one, right? That's why this is the 4th one. Again, we have step 1, step 2, steps forward as you cut over. Flip it down, step 3, step back with the same foot, right? Left step back so that you can protect yourself. Raise it up and cut straight down for 4. Then step forward for 5 here so that then you can step back again for 6. And then you're right back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right? And one more time. 1, 2, flip it down. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So to really bring this alive, you need 2 people. It's interactive for a reason. That's what the jar means. It's intended to be done in sets of 2. Right? You can practice it with me in front of the screen just to learn the motions of it, but you're not really doing the jar until you have somebody else there with you and they're giving you the attack. So one person's got to start at move 4 while the other person starts at move 1, right? And you put those 2 together and just for every attack there'll be a defense and it will work back and forth. And you can go infinitely that way and you can change up your footwork that way once you know where the sword needs to go, right? The reference to that. And from there you can just flow. And that's the idea of flow. It is an interaction between you and your opponent to feel the attack and defensive exchange, right? Kind of a relationship that you're building there as you understand these motions. And that is the 4th jar in our Shii Cho, our first system of lightsaber combat. Again, I'm Sam and I'm with the Louisville Jedi Academy.